Okay. All right, we got it. Check, check, check. How we sounding? Can you hear me? Oh, it's long. Check, check, check. How we sounding? Can you hear me? Good. Okay, good. Nope. Just need to give it a couple minutes. All right. Allison said good evening. Good to know. All right. Okay, we're just about ready. All right, Allison. Anybody else wants a message, please say so in the comments. I have Tammy, William, and Allison so far. Joyce, of course. Hello, Joyce. Okay. Sabrina. Okay. Good evening. I'm Reverend William. Thanks to everyone for taking part in the quiet energy work portion of our service. Your cooperation in creating this sacred space is greatly appreciated. Let us chant together 3 ohms just to get our head in the right place. Opening prayer. Divine oneness of being that man calls God, ascended masters and teachers, our own personal guides and overlighting angels, and guides over that circle of light. Thank you for coming in closely this time. Thank you for working with us and working through us as we gather here today to align our consciousness with yours, so mote it be. Please open to the first page of your book. We will say together the universal greeting. If this is new to you, watch the service workers to follow along with the interactive hand movements. I offer you peace. I offer you friendship. I offer you love. I hear your needs. I see your beauty. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from a higher source. I salute that source in you. Let us work together. Turn to the next page. We'll say together the 9 principles of spiritualism. Get myself arranged here. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitutes true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule: whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in all sacred texts are divine attributes proven through mediumship. Inspired talk. Okay, don't mind if I do. So when we say together the universal greeting, I offer you peace, I offer you friendship, I offer you love, I hear your needs, I see your beauty, I feel your feelings. Well, I'd like to qualify that one. I feel your feelings with discernment, with healthy boundaries. I don't let your feelings overwhelm me or take me over. I don't take your feelings on as my own. Healthy boundaries, there's an old saying, something like strong fences make good neighbors or something, and I understand where that comes from. But in personal energy, healthy boundaries make healthy relationships. Simple as that. If you have a tendency, if you know yourself, you have a tendency to take on the burdens of others as your own, or you can't discern, like, is it just me or am I in a room full of crazy people? You know, that's a judgment, of course. But it's important that you recognize that and adapt to it appropriately. Create healthy boundaries. Know the difference between your own feelings that come within you and the feelings and thoughts of others, and keep those separate. You can have compassion. You can have all those wonderful things for other people without taking on their stuff. If you know that you do this and you do it pretty habitually, then you probably have the karma of the archetype of the martyr. So I would look into that if I were you, if you know that about yourself. Okay, that's my talk. We welcome your donations to help us maintain our presence in the community. You may donate via our website, circleoflightstl.org, or through our Facebook page. For those who use Amazon, please consider using smile.amazon.com and choose Circle of Light Independent Spiritualist Church in St. Louis as your nonprofit. Amazon will give us a small donation at no cost to you. We also collect donations for the Southwest Indian Foundation, which provides stoves and food baskets to Native Americans during the holiday season. Each year, we allocate funds to help them. And if you want to make a donation specifically to SWIFT, just tell us when you donate. Thank you for your donations. All funds received help us in our mission to seek, develop, and teach the knowledge of the relationship between humanity and spirit. The crystal globe displayed here is filled with prayer and energy for healing Mother Earth and all her children. Everyone is welcome to contribute prayers for world peace and world healing. We invite you to add your energies to the sacred sharing. We will now say the prayer for spiritual healing found on the next page, after which there will be a short silence for you to softly say the names of anyone or any person, place, or thing that you would like to receive extra healing this week. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Along with everyone's silent requests, I would like to say out loud that we hold an intention for the earth to heal, being brought to our awareness recently through earthquakes and severe weather situations around the world. We pray and set an intention that the mind of people will align with the mind of Earth. Current announcements. October 22nd, I think. October 22nd is Gifts of Spirit. That's our fundraiser here. You can attend online or in person, your choice. That's the big thing coming up. That's the fourth Saturday in October. There's 5 Saturdays that month and 5 Sundays. And then Thanksgiving weekend, which is the 27th, the Sunday that month is the 27th of November, will be communion. And you'll see all that on our Facebook page. That's the 2 major things we have coming up soon. Once again, we thank you for your donations. A prayer over the offering. Prayer over the offering. Divine oneness of being in all of your forms, thank you for filling these donations with your divine energy and divine guidance, that they may do the most good possible, so mote it be. That brings us to the message portion of the service. Please actively listen to each message as these come from universal source via our guides. They may be tailored for the individual, but they deliver wisdom to the whole. Please address questions about messages to the message bearer after the service. To welcome each of our spirit workers, we sing together to raise the vibrations in our circle. We view the word God as a universal term for deity, rather than signifying any one particular path. Our message bearer tonight will be, I guess, me. Instead of a song, I'm not going to sing up here by myself. I am going to ask you to chant Om with me again. Om is the simplest and most commonly chanted mantra in the world. It resonates with the eye of perception, your third eye. That's why we like the Om. Well, one reason. So I'm going to do it 7 times. Thank you. My name is Reverend William. I will be working tonight with Sarah, Mikael, Ellen, Thundercloud, Meredith, and Arturus. All right. I've got Tammy C. Wow, that's something I haven't thought about in a long time. Is that Simon Says? No. The game wherein all the kids are facing one person and the one who's it or the leader of the game is facing away from you, and when that person turns around, you have to stop. Okay? I can't remember which one it is. Anyways, children's game. And Tammy, what they're saying is, if you choose to be in the game, which you could choose for a variety of reasons. If you just want to hang out with the other kids, be friends, there's a variety of reasons to be in the game. It really has nothing to do with the game. But if you choose to be in the game, well, then why wouldn't you want to cooperate with the game? That is, try to play it along with the other kids. If you don't want to play the game, then don't. It's pretty straightforward. If you don't want to do that, well, then don't pretend like you do and just don't play it. William E. Well, the image they're using is a cornfield and showing me how it's easy to get lost in a cornfield because everything looks the same. I also want to put up against that image something, actually, an experience I had a long time ago when I first started playing a 12-string guitar. And it was brand new, and the person at the music store that was tuning it, and he had to go get a electric tuner. He said, a 6-string I can tune very quickly without any equipment. I've done it so many times. At a 12-string, he said, to me, I'll be in the middle of tuning a 12-string, and it's the equivalent of trying to see in the dark. I lose my relative pitch, kind of lose where I am. And so these are similar. So in the guitar example, we're talking about harmonics. Same thing. I like harmony. I used to sing barbershop with a barbershop chorus. That's also all about harmony. And sometimes you lose your place. If you don't have somebody so if you have a person singing bass and baritone and tenor, and you're supposed to carry the melody, you lose your place. It's hard to find it again because nobody else is singing the melody. So this is all about relative pitch, knowing where you want to be. So the key is listening. That's what they're saying. Observing, like in the cornfield, you would observe carefully, mindfully, and not panic. In the other two examples of sound, you would listen carefully and mindfully to know where you want to be to harmonize. Okay, Joyce. Okay, well, I was kind of double checking. Has anybody else ever noticed how sometimes there's a theme when we give messages? I notice it. But it's another childhood game, hopscotch. And again, I really don't remember how exactly to play it, but what they're showing me is, like, normally you'd have the numbers 1 through 10, and it just goes on for way past 10, almost as far as you can see down the sidewalk. And Joyce, what they're saying is, you've been limiting yourself to just 1 through 10. Like, you have this idea that your balance or whatever skills necessary to do hopscotch, I think we're looking at balance, like it's only good enough to do this much, but you've never tried doing past 10 because you never really saw past that existing paradigm or framework. So they're encouraging you to take it way past 10, the normal paradigm, and that your skills are much better than you think they are. Allison. Okay, I don't know my dog breeds. I said husky, they said Malamute, whatever that is. All right, so some big dog. And winter, so where it's winter, it's snow and ice and stuff. And okay, interesting. You have the Iditarod, right? So there's like you are dog sledding, okay, and you have a goal, but again, it's easy to get disoriented in all the white, all the snow. If you haven't traversed this path many times and haven't memorized, it's really easy to get disoriented and get lost. They're saying trust the dog. Your memory, your conscious mind questions all this, and then you end up getting caught up like in busy mind syndrome. Trust the dog. So, Like your animal guide, trust your guide. Sabrina. Oh man. So taking me back to the old days, like at a carnival or homecoming where they have these games you play, and let's say it's like you're playing that game where you throw the baseball to knock down the bottles, or these simple and obviously unfair games. Okay, but if you know that and you choose to play it, well, then what's the problem? You're not getting ripped off. You know when you enter into it that it's not fair. It's often not what it seems. Like, throw the ball, knock down the 3 bottles, and looks so easy. But the way it's set up, it's actually quite difficult. And if you don't know, okay, so it's also like studying and like knowing the secret to the game. So it's totally your choice. What was that, Sabrina? Technology. Okay. All right. Lois. Yes. Lois, can I just take this opportunity to say how much I enjoy giving you messages, because they're so often funny and fun. They're showing you walking in Jell-O. In Jell-O? Yep, Jell-O, gelatin. All right? And they're like, well, I mean, most people would just eat it, but you're just having fun with it. It reminds me of a scene. There's a movie called Patch Adams with Robin Williams. Yeah. Remember that? Remember Patch Adams? And the woman who gets the swimming pool full of noodles? It's the same kind of mentality or attitude that, like, this is just what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to wade in a pool of Jell-O. And Spirit's like, okay, here's some Jell-O. So, detach from, like, whatever judgment you think that other people might have, or whatever's keeping you from just doing what you want to do. Just release that. If you want to wade in some Jell-O, wade in some Jell-O. Whatever. And of course, maybe I didn't say this out loud. The theme here, is that childlike, non-judgmental, just want to have fun. Okay. Is that still working? Okay, good. Andrea C. Okay, this is good. Andrea, they show you walk up to the home plate. It's your turn to bat at a baseball game, and you're just about to do a Babe Ruth and point, and they're like, don't get cocky, kid. Just there's no reason to show off, and there's whatever game you have chosen to participate in. There's no reason to, like, draw attention to yourself in that kind of way. Just do what you practiced. Do it well, and you'll be noticed without any kind of extravagant way of drawing attention to yourself. Rebecca. Okay, gotcha. Rebecca. Okay, this is Rebecca. They're showing you hunkered down behind this, like you're in war, in a battle, and you're hunkered down behind the sandbags, and the machine, your guys are taking fire just like you're about to get overwhelmed. The machine gun fire coming to you is like, man, these sandbags are going to last for so long. And there's not enough of us to return fire. And Spirit goes, call in an airstrike, like very adamantly. Like, so what you find yourself in a battle or a okay. So yes, we understand the external, like whatever it is outside of you. Yes, of course, call for help. You have the authority and the ability to call for an airstrike. All right, but also inside you, you feel this conflict is so unfair or one-sided. Call an airstrike. This is your amazing grace moment. This is when you can say, you know what, God, I'm overwhelmed. Give me some help, or it's not going to be good. That type of thing. It's like you are totally empowered to call in higher power, inward and outward. Michelle P. Michelle. Cut it loose, Michelle. So you're at a ping pong table, okay, and you've got that, oh gosh, another stupid carnival thing. You know, where you have like the rubber ball that's attached to the paddle with the rubber band, and you're going to the ping pong table, and they're like, well, if you're going to play ping pong, you got to let it go. So whenever you're ready to, this feels to me like a relationship thing. Like you are looking for teamwork, someone to have it back and forth with, but you're holding on to the ball. So if you really want to do this, you got to let go you got to let it go. Just let it go. What is it I'm letting go of? Okay, so what would the ball represent? Let's dive into this real quick. You're looking for someone to play with, and it's not going to be fun for them until you release control of the ball. Simple as that. Okay, I think we got them all. Thank you for allowing me to stand between two worlds. All right, that brings us to the meditation portion, which, what do I do with it? What's over here? All right, this is presented by Melina. And if I know what I'm doing, we will magically have her voice in our ear. What I'm doing. Oh. So I got to turn this off in order for that to work. So I cannot see your comments anymore because I got to go over to here to this. See if this works.
Where do you strive for freedom? Begin by taking a deep breath in through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, allow that energy to move down through your body and out of your feet and into Mother Earth. Take another deep breath in and feel this energy center around your heart. And as you exhale, out the front and the back of your chest, out of your heart chakra from both sides. And take another deep breath in through the crown of your head. And exhaling as you feel comfortable, allowing it to move through your body as you will. With that last deep breath, allow your body to become more comfortable in its chair. Allow your breath to become slow and steady and even and at a pace that is comfortable for you. And as you do, allow your thoughts to turn inward as you visualize with us. You are invited to consider, what does freedom mean to you? A lot of times when we talk about freedom, the opposite of it is restriction. So we may start there. Where in your life do you feel restricted? Where do you feel like perhaps you can't do as you want or as you will? Where do you feel as if there are limits put on what you are or what you can do or what you can be? And take a moment to consider how those limits and those restrictions may have come to be. For in order to move forward, we must know where we've been. Whether some of those restrictions have been put on you through family or friends or work or your own thoughts about a situation. Allow yourself to gently stretch past these unseen bonds, if you will. Allow your mind to move forward and out of them. And begin to consider, what does your personal freedom mean to you? Is it perhaps to be able to do whatever you want when you want? Or is it to be able to be creative or have the job you want or the friends you want? Whatever your version of freedom is, allow yourself to lean into that thought for just a moment. If you had the opportunity and the potential and the freedom to be whatever it is that you would want to be, what would you choose? Would it be a new career? Would you take a chance on a relationship? Would you try something new you've never done before? As we've mentioned, freedom comes in a lot of ways. It can not just be freedom to be, but it can also be freedom from something. Take a moment to think about, is there something that feels restrictive on you that you would like to be free from? Perhaps it's freedom from old thought patterns, or perhaps an old wound, something that just stays with you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Again, it could be freedom from the restriction of a situation. Let's take a moment to focus on freedom from a wound of some type. I encourage you to pick something from your past, your recent past or your far past, whatever it is, something that you would like to be free from, that you consider to be a wound of some type. Allow yourself to sit with that for a moment as an observer, not being within any of the pain or the discomfort that was originally there, just simply as an observer. If you were to look at that wound, just see it as it is, without the drama. See it without the pain, without the discomfort. And allow your thoughts around that wound to alter just a bit. Don't focus on the blame of whose fault it was or the circumstances. Just see it with the least amount of drama that you can. As you do, visualize it in a room, and you see this tie to this wound that links back to yourself. That links back to yourself, and allow yourself to gently slip that tie off of your ankle, to leave it there, to turn your back on it, and to simply walk away. This doesn't mean that we forgive anything or anyone involved in the situation. It just simply lets that energetic rest away from us for a bit. Allow yourself to lay it down. We cannot change the past, and there's nothing we can do about it. So allow yourself a break. If you choose to pick it up again later, you can. But just notice how the energy feels in your body when you allow yourself to disconnect from it in these moments. Reminding ourselves that at all times we are protected by source energy, our guides and teachers, and this is a safe space to do that. When we have freedom from this wound, it offers up so much more potential for us, for things we may do in the future, other ways that we can use or spend this energy. So now that we are free from this wound, consider if we have the freedom to be anything, what can you offer? What can you offer as your freedom? Perhaps after having freedom from this wound, you may be able to offer emotional support to others. Perhaps your creativity is allowed to stretch and open more now that your spirit is no longer restricted. Whatever it is, allow yourself again to lean into that potential and consider, what can you offer and what can you be? Another way to think of this is you have the freedom to express yourself as you are, as you truly are, or as you want to be. If you were able to do this, how would you express yourself? It can come in so many ways. Would you sing? Maybe perhaps something you've always been afraid to do. Would you write? Would you create? Perhaps art. Perhaps you would step into a vocation that you actually felt was your true calling. Perhaps you would start that business that you'd been waiting to work on. Perhaps you'd go into the business of serving others. Whatever it is, consider how you would express yourself if you had the freedom to be and do anything you wanted. For some people, freedom comes through structure, the reliability of knowing that things will happen on a regular basis as they're supposed to at the time they're prescribed. And it may seem restrictive to some, but there is an amount of freedom that is found in structure as well. Both of these ways can be a way forward for you. The idea of looking at where and what does freedom come from and mean to you is to help remove any blocks, or anything in your life that where you feel held back. Allowing yourself to step into your true potential. And will everything go perfectly? Probably not, but that's okay. Sometimes it's the experience that we strive for. So I'd invite you to ask yourself, what experiences are you wanting to have? And how can freedom help get you there? As you consider these themes, again, think of how you can share that energy with others, how you could be helpful, not just to them or for them, but perhaps by being an example to other people that they too can achieve this freedom that we search for. Regardless of how you find your way, and regardless of what you choose, we take a moment to give thanks to our guides and teachers that have helped us on this journey and supported us on this path. And we keep in mind all of this potential for opportunity as we go forward. And as we begin to feel the pull of our physical bodies beginning to want to move, we feel ourselves slip back in as if putting on a glove. And when we are ready, we open our eyes completely back in this space amongst friends. And with a full heart and full potential, we say thank you. We say thank you. We say thank you. So mote it be.
Closing prayer. That would warm me up. All right, closing prayer. Divine oneness of being in all of your forms, thank you for working with us to do this again tonight. And thank you for overlaying our individual and collective path as we move forward from here. So will it be. All right. Thanks for being our circle of light. Please stand with us in unity as we sing together. Let there be peace on earth. Now I'm dry. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me, let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Hugs.